What's up?
Welcome back.
Yo. Yes, we is back. We is back. How is y'all doing?
Doing okay.
Like I was immaculately conceived by the Force, baby. I'm feeling great.
So we're going right there to the Force babies.
Might as well. Why not?
I'm
Why?
also feeling kind of like a good Hasbro product, non-existent.
Hey,
I might disappear in a second.
hey, you know.
Hasbro just like busting the door. What you been saying about us, fool? What you been saying? Just takes you away.
Hasbro, open up!
Y'all like Power Rangers?
You ain't getting shit, son.
We just want to know if you liked it. We ain't say we didn't give y'all shit. We just want to know if you liked it. Man,
better give us some good credit.
I've
They
actually
think Power Rangers
been,
like people credit score is just going up and down, up and down.
I've actually been enjoying a bit of Power Rangers Renaissance myself lately. I'm like, once I'm done rewatching BoJack and Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'm gonna get right back into that. But yeah, Power Rangers was something when it was something. It was nice when it was nice.
Oh yeah, and like I was telling off camera, rewatching this is my first watch through of Power Rangers Turbo, the series, and I'm watching it with Carl and the Siler audio crew, and oh boy, the first 3 episodes were a wild ride already.
Pure shit.
Yeah.
What, Tommy? It's like, Tommy, do you want to graduate with your friends? Like, you're with your friends every single day of the week. Maybe you want to graduate with them. Nah, I just want to go drive my race car that I've loved more than my friends. Oh wow, you can go, Tommy. You got your diploma early.
I forget, is Turbo the one with Divatox, the boob lady pirate?
Yeah.
The boobs, yes, the boobs.
Like, I just realized we can't show kissing in Power Rangers. It's bad for the kids. But here is some that's basically a dominatrix.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, like yeah. So do you remember since Tommy and Kimberly kissed in Mighty Morphic?
Yeah.
They had loads of complaints about that apparently, and then they were like, no more. That's how, like, they always either tease it now or they don't show it whatsoever. And I just realized that you have someone that is pretty much like tits out. Yeah, you're absolutely allowed that in Power Rangers. Not allowed a quick kiss, like, not doing a make-out session, on the lips. Nope. Have to do have to have Divatox, the sexual awakener.
That's the thing. It's trash about Power Rangers, man. We never
No,
seen
that was
humans. They don't kiss. They don't hug. They don't shit. They don't eat. Like, are these robots like humans? Like, I need to see somebody sleep at least. Take a damn nap.
For the record, Kimberly was the sexual awakener.
Really? Hey. I thought it was down under Cap.
Power Rangers was strange back then. That's definitely
what do you mean
for sure.
Back then?
Yes, it was in the 90s. At least
for
the first 4 seasons or 5 seasons.
I'm just glad that even when we got like genuinely unironically good and great seasons from that show, they never fully let go of like the 90s guilty pleasure garbage spirit of it. It was always there somewhere, even with RPM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it.
It was a good run for what they had, and then Hasbro came in with a coffin and were like, "Here you go, you're dead."
I need to ask some questions about the franchise.
We're in a very we shall see phase with Power Rangers right now because like it's dumped completely, but we've still got the fans. It's in the hands of the fans now.
Yeah, boy.
See what I
wait. That's a bad thing because the fans kind of suck, man. We got the Star Wars fans and the Power Rangers fans. I don't know what's worse.
I'm gonna have to say
Star Wars fans, 100%.
100% Star Wars fans.
As a Star Wars
along with Star Trek.
Confirm this.
I don't know. Power Ranger fans, Star Wars fans, and Nicki Minaj fans are like on a certain level of stupid. You know what I mean? They all up there. They just stupid. I don't know. It's worse.
So
Personally, I would say Star Wars because no matter what you do with Star Wars, like they just instantly turn against it. And I understand, like, if you're going to change canon, if you're going to start messing with lore, then I 100% like completely understand it. With Power Ranger fans, they haven't, they don't really necessarily change the lore of the show. It's very consistent. It's just that they're never happy.
I fully agree, and that's
they have
definitely what I saw.
Yeah, they have a whole ass history of never being happy. They ripped the prequels apart. They ripped Disney canon apart. They even kind of ripped Legends apart, and they ruined lives over it. Ahmed Best got sent death threats. Jake Lloyd, the actor who played young Anakin in Phantom Menace, he got like bullied into a mental institution for that shit. I mean, like he had his life ruined. And Lucas walked away from Star Wars for good because he's just like, I'm sick of being compared to Hitler or the devil or both. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Pretty much.
That's the thing. Fans don't even realize that they're destroying stuff when actors don't even want to continue their contracts, sign on to these films. So if they can't get actors to be in these fucking projects, what the hell y'all gonna have then? Stop bullying people and sending them death threats and shit like that because you got a fucking woman lead or person of color in fucking Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
It's in a galaxy. You don't think they're gonna be a woman out there? A fucking black person, a fucking Asian? Like, y'all need to fucking wake up and touch grass or something. These fans are really ridiculous.
Well, here's where I derail that and kind of bury that.
You derail?
Okay, so what we're talking about is the Acolyte episode 4 with space lesbians using the Force to become pregnant was the biggest thing in it. But
that bothers me.
We gotta remember,
especially the way you worded like that. Like, what the hell? That's not what happened. No,
that's literally what the article I found was.
Boy, I don't care about that left wing, super hyper angry, racist person article you read. The hell is that? That's like saying we have monkeys in Star Wars with lightsabers. Like, what? I'm not reading that article either.
I'm coming in here from a bit of a limited POV. I haven't watched The Acolyte myself, but what Ty's talking about is there's apparently this witch coven in the series who have this power to immaculately conceive babies through the Force. Now, magic's not a new thing in Star Wars. You know, you got the Night Sisters, the Sith practiced alchemy all the time. It's part of their history. But immaculately conceiving children through the Force breaks the whole fucking canon because, well, like, okay, I'm being a little dramatic, but it removes the whole point.
Because also the main character Anakin, Darth Vader, was conceived by the Force. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing new to this.
It had never been done before until it happened with him when Darth Plagueis specifically created him through the Force. No one was able to do that until that point. That's why Anakin was a big deal. That's why they thought he was the chosen one, not just because of his midichlorian count, because he was literally Force Jesus. That had never happened before.
Yeah.
It breaks the whole point.
Bro, imagine that are more. I'm sorry, I'll cut you off. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Like, imagine that convo at the Opera House in Revenge of the Sith. Like, that reminds me, Chancellor, I heard this witch coven who got crushed by a bunch of bricks, but they could do that casually. They made babies with the Force all the time. Palpatine's like, how did Master never tell me? I mean, how did I never know of that? Yeah, Star Wars Theory made a whole. Did you ever see that video? Star Wars Theory made on that.
No, he's another one that was super upset. Star Wars Theory. I used to love him. He was so freaking objective. Then he became a show.
But when it comes to
a Disney show,
man, you didn't have him watching his reviews for like the Acolyte stuff like that. He is so upset. He's one of the people who's saying they ruined Star Wars because they didn't make what's his name, Anakin isn't special anymore because he wasn't the only one born of the Force. And it's kind of like, sir, you only mad because we got 2 black twins, right? Because again, Anakin was just the first. These new twins in the Acolyte are the third. Y'all forget we got Star Wars Tales where there was another set of twins that was white kids, but nobody blowing up over the 2 twins who literally born in the same way as the Acolyte. But everybody brushed past that because what? You comfortable seeing 2 white girls? But now we got 2 black girls. Now it's a problem. That's my issue. Well, you guys are hiding behind the racist part of it because you're uncomfortable that you see 2 black leads. And this is one fucking girl. Leave Rue alone. Leave Rue alone. She was getting hell since she was in fucking Hunger Games. Like, I don't get it. You guys are really upset for no reason.
I never heard of what you're saying, Darrell. The whole 2 white kids.
Yes, in Star Wars Tales, there was actually another set of twins who was born by the Force. One of light, one of dark. They're actually in the show on Disney Plus. So it's not like these new twins are the only ones. Yes, they was born 100 years before that, and the show may not be canon. But again, it's fucking Star Wars. Who cares what's canon and what's not? The thing is, it happened before.
And plus, it's suffering. Star Wars is suffering from the MCU syndrome, where, because like I never knew that. Syndrome. How many shows are there? We got The Mandalorian, we got Rebels, we got The Acolyte, we got God knows
Ahsoka, you got Ahsoka. It's a lot of content out there it is something for everybody. So I don't understand why everyone is so uptight. Like if you don't like one show, there's a whole nother show that ain't got nothing to do with Jedi and lightsabers called Endor, where it's like a spy show.
Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian.
Yes, if you like that type. I mean, I like all the shows. Some of them are weaker, like Boba Fett. The Acolyte right now is kind of falling off for me. It's episode 3 was horrible. I'm sorry, it was slow.
Andor, I hear, is great.
Yes, Andor is really great. Mandalorian season 1 is great.
So my biggest issue with this episode was because I watched it. I didn't see these 2 twins really give it their all. They did not feel right. Like they felt more like zombies than anything. Put a little more emotion into it. Their mother, like I said in the group, I will follow T'Challa's mother into battle full-heartedly. She knows how to run a coven. This bitch does not. I'm sorry.
Hey, well, this is only episode 4. We got 3 more episodes left before we see what the hell is going on.
It was episode 3. That was.
I follow like any of the female Wakandans into battle. Honestly, like they all sell the warrior shit.
Female Wakandans, what they call
Shuri, the Dora Milaje, man.
Yeah, the Dora Milaje,
man. And that's kind of what I wanted to see. If they're trying to say that they use the Force to, say, well, it's not supposed to be used by the light side or the dark side. It's supposed to be in their mix. Okay, explain it. No, you're just gonna. No, you're not supposed to use it in any sort of way. The Jedi are just racist bastards and don't know how to do it. See, let's say, here's how you use the Force. Oh yeah, say I use the Force on you. I should not. I'm gonna keep doing it. How are you teaching your kids?
For a second,
you should never not talk like that. I mean, that should be the rest of your voice for this episode.
I'm sorry, but that's how she came off. Like,
what?
I couldn't tell what she was doing.
Just chiming in for a second. Your accent there, you briefly turned into the "Why are you gay?" guy.
I thought it was like a really bad German accent.
A really bad German. I was about to say he's like the comedy version of Hitler.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know.
SNL version of Hitler. There we go.
It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be ridiculous. So,
like Star Wars at this point, because
see, what I was just laughing at was So you have the Coven of Witches, which I'm guessing is meant to be like really powerful. You know, they can like sense the force or the string or whatever the thread, whatever you want to call it. But I just imagine someone going, "We can defeat you. You can't defeat us with your lightsaber, but I have a brick. Oh God, a brick! It's hit my arm. I'm dead." Like I haven't seen it, but I'm like, if you have an entire thing pour on you and you can't use the force or the thread to like cover yourself, or at least to kind of like redirect. I'd just be like, one brick can defeat them all, and not even like just literally place it next to them.
Yeah, that's two things. Like they are able to do something that is not even supposed to happen yet, and yet they're weak enough to get killed by a bunch of bricks.
Yeah.
At that point, Roger Rabbit could kick their asses.
But the funny thing is, I don't even think
beats them in
they're
durability.
dead. You know what I mean? Just watching the Acolyte and just the person with the smiley helmet. I really believe that has to be one of those witches. Either the mother and the Saya, or the other mother that looks like a white version of what's the red guy? Darth Maul. Yeah, it looks like one of him. So it could be one of them. You know what I mean? Coming to get revenge on the Jedi for taking their daughter. You know what I mean? So that's where I think it's going to lead up. But
well, it kind of played out that she's like, because one twin wanted to follow the Coven, and the other one's like, I just want more. I don't want to be stuck here.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want to be stuck here. I want to be out of here. So I can understand her just wanting to leave, and of course, then it'll lead down that line of, you stole my daughter from me, Jedi. You need to give her back. Hey, do you want to go back to the Coven? No? What do you want to do with your life? Okay.
Do you want to go back to the Coven? As long as the house is made of metal or clay and not brick.
Hey, they died for a reason, okay? They died to push the twins forward. But okay, speaking of seriousness, right? Do y'all think they're going to team up together, the sisters, and not necessarily be Sith or Jedi, but be somewhere in the middle like Ahsoka to defeat this helmet person?
Probably. I've not seen it, so I'm going to go with yes. Yes, they will.
You must watch it so you can understand our frustration, how the first two episodes is like, oh, this is good. Then the third episode slows down and pump brakes, and you're like, what the hell? And then episode 4 is even slower. And at the very end of like the last 30 seconds of episode 4, you hype again. Like, I don't understand this hot and cold that they're doing with the storytelling.
I've watched Doctor Who, so I feel like all of that. So
and that's a whole nother ball game.
We can talk about that in a bit. It's fucking the worst thing I've seen in the world. Well, actually, no, it's actually just really bad, really bad writing.
If we're still on Acolyte questions for just a second, though,
yeah,
how do you think they're going to handle Ki-Adi-Mundi already knowing about the Sith?
That's something different, because what if he knows about the Sith because maybe his Padawan then switched over?
Maybe, because I thought when I first heard about that, I thought maybe that was just a member of his species, but no, that's Ki-Adi-Mundi straight up. And again, they are kind of they're at least risking a canon break there, because they're not even supposed to know about the Sith until Maul attacks Qui-Gon on Tatooine in Phantom Menace. That's their reemergence. And now we're seeing Ki-Adi-Mundi find out about the Sith 100 years before that takes place.
But also, doesn't his race they don't live for that long as well? So
that too.
Yeah, it's bad writing. I feel like some people will go, "Oh my god!" It's great that you've added this in. It's really cool, but it's they don't listen or don't look at the lore. They don't go back and check it or go, okay, well, if we're going to bring in these guys, what has this been done before? And you kind of think that if you have all the stuff from George Lucas, you'd have a Bible or something that you can flip through and go, here you go. or even go back and watch or something. So I think that they probably went, oh, it's an Easter egg, but then it's like, but it's fucked up because it now messes up, that particular part of the film.
And that has been my issue with the Acolyte, with I think Rebels and the one that came before it, and a couple of others. The Mandalorian was fine. I liked the Mandalorian because they're basically saying, okay, here's all these side stories that took place before the Clone Wars, but are rewriting so much of what we have seen in the prequels, the main three that started it all. And I hate to bring up them, I really do, because I don't believe they're canon. The sequel trilogy, which again had its own problems. If you're willing to rewrite all this lore, Disney, you screwed up majorly, and your writers need to get on their heads out of their freaking.
In fairness, this isn't the worst thing ever. It's not insurmountable. This has happened before, and Legends, even Legends did it sometimes. They completely bounce back and forth on Grievous in particular. So, yeah, I mean, like this isn't the worst thing ever. They can bounce out of this, but they're still going to have to.
But my biggest issue was when Disney first bought Lucasfilms from George Lucas, hundreds upon hundreds of books that were written by fans and by George Lucas himself. And they just said, oh, by the way, all those nice stories that fit in with the lore, that explained the lore, that explained stuff like the Acolyte. Yeah, we're just going to take that. We're going to put it in the furnace. Bye.
Yeah, it's because they didn't like it. That's why. So, you've got games and stuff. But then I know they went over and re-brought things back in. Personally, I feel like they should have kept all of it and said this is canon, because at least then you don't have to go back and explain it. If, say, for example, if you heard the word, oh my god, like Starkiller's on his way, or Starkiller's finished his mission, then if people go, who the fuck's Starkiller? Then you've got a video game to go play. You've got that content that you don't have to turn around and be like, oh, this is actually really, really shit. So yeah, I feel like it's like
there's also a lot of juicy IP to work with, a lot of great stories to work with that they just threw out like that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Darrell that people are taking it, a lot of fans and writers are taking it way too far. It's almost like they want to kill the franchise. Both sides.
The thing is, it's kind of you pushing it so far into the creative space, or you taking so many liberties with things where you don't really have to. Stars, yes, is a vast story, and because you set yourself 100 years before the very first film, you have so many things that you can do differently or set up for the future of what we see with these current films and shows, and you completely drop the ball there. So it's kind of like the showrunner where she had this idea of completely, like, taking Power Rangers, for example. We're going to take Power Rangers. Everyone know MMPR, Zordon, Alpha needed 5 teenagers with attitude to battle Rita. It was like, okay, we know the core, but let's take Divatox and we create 5 teenagers with attitude to go against her sister, Rita. And Zordon is going to be the overseeing all over everything. It's like, okay, that's kind of Power Rangers, but you completely flipped it on his head and twisted it to where it's not the same. Like, why would you do that? You took too many liberties. And Star Wars, they're doing it to a point to where it's destroying the fans' idea what Star Wars is. Again, Lucas, he created he had a blueprint. There is a Bible out there, and it's set. And you can follow these rules. Jedi are this, Sith are that. they're yin and yang. So why are you guys messing with that formula? It's very simple. If you just break it down to the simplest form, is yin and yang. You don't have to deter that too much to tell a compelling story. And it's like, well, we're so tired of this yin and yang is we're doing it for 75 years. Well, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And they told Lucas specifically that they were going to follow his vision for the sequel
And they
trilogy.
They lied.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when the creator of the Acolyte has come out and said, I want to make a Star Wars Frozen series. That's all the Acolyte is.
Yeah. And it's neither.
That interview
which is
so
a shame
terrible.
that they fucked that up, because Jedi Elsa is kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Kathleen Kennedy wanting to make us male nerds who really love the series cry. Come out in an interview as well. I think it was in the same video I sent you guys too.
See, I absolutely hate that, because the fact is that when you do your market research, because obviously these companies, and this is the same with there's another one I talk about today, I can't remember, but they see like a percentage of how many people are watching Star Wars or Marvel or all these things, and they think that they're going to get the Gen Z, they're going to get the new age people that come and watch it. But if they piss off the older fans, which are the ones doing it was Star Wars, it was something like, let's say 70% of the audience is white males or whatever, or older fans. And the fact is, like, that's who you should be making it for. You can put in all these references, but when you kind of take this all away and it's like, why is no one watching it? Why is no one buying this product? You then got to realize that you've been pissing people off, because if all of a sudden, if the entire audience goes, oh, there's new Star Wars coming out, and it's like, shit, we're not going to watch this, you then run the risk of wasting so much money that you're not going to get an investment back. And this is what really irritates me, because a lot of people aren't just watching it. Like comic book fans, when they did a poll on how many like comic book fans have Twitter and stuff like that, majority they found out like maybe like 20% or something, right? It was a low number that actually used Twitter. So when you have, like, say, Marvel and DC turning around now going, well, we want to make this, we want to make that, it doesn't really work. Stop making these things for people that aren't going to watch your product, because they're not the ones that are going to spend the money. The same thing as Star Wars. I don't mind Star Wars, but I'm not going to go watch The Acolyte when I hear it's fucking up things. I'm not going to watch the ones with like Rey and stuff when I find out that the fans want Raylo, where it's like, oh, we're going to bully these people. I'm not going to watch it when John Ortega got fucked over completely. And it's that thing that really irritates me so much. That's it, sorry. Like he was meant to be like the main focus of Star Wars. That's what it was meant to be. And then they went, Ray! Fuck that shit.
I have the backstory about that.
They got to please those racists in China. That's why they did it.
That's what it was. It wasn't the creators. They already had the story set up. J.J. Abrams, he had it where he was going to take over. But they had to appeal the main audience, which, again, is racist. Okay? It's just, in the simplest form, people are racist. So, in order to get any type of revenue, they had to change the story, which sucks, because it's kind of like the reason these people have so much power is because you give it to them. If you completely ignore them, you would have got a whole bunch more following and a whole bunch more traction, a lot more fans that are genuinely fans of your product, if you would have just kept your story that you created and laid out, which is what was pitched, which is how the man got hired to tell the story in the first place. And these suits are up there like, well, we got 10 people who are freaking racist folks who not going to support the movie. Okay, well, lose those 10 because you might end up gaining 30.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for
they're too scared of getting banned in China.
Exactly. And China fuck with us anyway. So, I mean, it's kind of like it was all for nothing.
Yeah, like, who cares about the audience? Make stuff that you want to make.
And that's how you gain an audience and the following. You put something, if you just stick to yourself, like us right now, we got 20-some people watching. It don't matter if we had 10 people or 5 billion people. This is our content that we like doing. So the people who are here are the real ones that matter. We're not putting out anything that we don't like just to gain attraction. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like film and TV used to be that way, and that's why they were so popular. We had Buffy, we had Xena, we had Power Rangers. They didn't try to be anything different to appease the masses. They did what they did, and look at their following that they have now, even to this day, a cult following.
And we want to talk diversity and stuff. Look at Power Rangers. We had a black guy in a black suit. Go figure. We had a white guy. We had an Asian girl. We had a country, kind of a city country girl. Indian guy.
Yeah, I mean,
and a nerd. Like, how hard is that? And they kept that going for a lot of years.
Yeah, I don't get it. Star Wars is fucking aliens. I don't give a damn. It's aliens, y'all. How are y'all so mad that you got one person or a woman leading the team? Y'all, it's fucking aliens. And the fucking balloon. And you got a worm talking around named Jabba the Hutt. And you got robots that are beep, 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 beep. And people understand what they're saying. But your disbelief come in when there's a woman leading the Jedi Order. Like, what the fuck?
The problem that Disney Star Wars is doing is
even Siri don't know how to respond to that.
They don't get how to properly make female characters. They're just checking off a box. That's all they're doing. Like, you can talk about how Star Wars could do a better job representing women all the live long day, but we remember female characters from Star Wars for a reason. Leia, leader of the rebellion, daughter of a senator who picked up a blaster and joined the fight, took charge of her own fucking rescue. That's not to talk about also like Padme. Who else? Oh, Mara Jade, Jaina Solo, Bastilla Shan. You know what happened to those great female characters? You axed them when you got rid of Legends. What the fuck are you doing, Disney?
And the fact that in the original 3 movies, it was never about Luke. I remember watching a video on this just the other day before I went to work. It was never about Luke. It was about Leia and her story.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh yeah, you could totally.
I don't fucking even know.
Like, it's not Han or Luke leading the charge. It's her. They're fighters and they're great warriors, but they're not the leader that she is. And like, without her, that rebellion would not have worked.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, you could argue that she was the one who got them the final win in Return of the Jedi, because Luke was a bystander to the Battle of Endor at best. He was handling the Vader situation. Han was at her side, but Leia got the ball rolling on getting the Ewoks on their side when she rescued one from the stormtrooper, and she was the one pretty much leading that fight in the end. Like, yeah, you could totally make the argument she was the main character.
Yeah.
And Star Wars and Disney just does not want to follow. Then Hollywood in general, they are just not following that kind of example, because they just want to be like, we got female characters. See what we did? We're good people. Buy our products or fucking die.
Pretty much it.
Freaking Mickey.
Mm.
Yeah. We don't know how to write good, strong characters. You're gonna buy a product.
Careful, we'll awaken him from his slumber. You don't
Too late. He's already here.
That's where Phil is. He's not absent with family. Mickey got him. We don't want him to get in any of us. Just looking around. Mickey's he's not here. We're good.
Mickey. I don't know who will win in the fight. Is it Mickey or Pooh Bear? Oh, my honey.
No, I think Mickey would kick some ass. I think Pooh would be able to take it like a lot. Like, you keep punching him. He's like, oh, bother, this doesn't get me. And he's just like constantly like, Christopher Robin, oh no, oh bother. That would literally be it all the time.
It wouldn't even be a fight. Like, imagine a horror movie where like Disney wants to axe Winnie the Pooh too. So Mickey goes in there and he like slowly indulges him with like his gluttony. He ruins his life until he sinks further and further into the honey when he was just starting to walk away. And at the end, Winnie dies of a heart attack. It wouldn't even be a fight. Mickey would just like slowly unravel his whole life and kill him that way.
That's crazy.
Take that, Pooh Bear. Kill you. Oh.
Oh, that is funny.
Did anyone else ever have the interpretation that like the characters of Winnie the Pooh like represent different sins or different kinds of mental illness or just
No, I
mental
saw
demons?
that floating around social media, and since I saw that, now I can't change, what I see, because it really is mental illness when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The
So
100-acre wood.
any more thoughts on craziness with Star Wars?
Not particularly, no.
I would really love to see newer fans and older fans come together at some point, because the sequels do have their fans. The shows
have
that
theirs.
older fans don't like have their fans, and like it sounds like there are actually some things to praise with The Acolyte from what Darrell tells us. So yeah, like I would love to hear more from the sequel fans and the Disney Star Wars fans. I would love to hear some of their 2 cents, and I think that those fans and older Legends fans, them coming together could make something really good for Star Wars if the franchise isn't already dead.
Get better writers. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, better writing a good script and follow through on what you was pitched in the first place. Don't change it because now you got the check and the green light to do it. That's what I hate. Whether it's the studios lying or the creators pitching something just to get something else made because they already got the green light go.
Yeah.
Give more creative control. What I would do if I was Disney, give more creative control to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and have them bring back the Cartoon Network writers that helped with the Clone Wars.
I think that would be pretty cool, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And bring back Legends. And honestly, like, I wonder if he ever wanted to come back, bring Lucas back.
They don't even have to do
director.
that. Because just since we were speaking about the Acolyte, even though the story moves and then it crawls to like a stagnant flow, there's an issue with the flow there with the storytelling, which is the episodic thing from week to week between episode 3 and episode 4 is really hurting it because it's so stagnant, so far apart, where people are able to pick apart everything because there's not a continuity, a continuous, cohesive gel to it because it's so far apart in the way that they're structured. So Disney really needs to look at their project. If they would have combined episode 3 and episode 4 into one, that would have completely helped with the flow of the story and what was going on and what was being told. But because it was so separated, you had episode 3, which was all exposition. Episode 4, which was all exposition, but the last 30 seconds we get action. People attention span needs something to keep them entertained throughout and watching your product. That's one major flaw with Star Wars Acolyte that I'm seeing as well. It's too spaced out. This show didn't need to be episodic, especially when you're going up an uphill battle of people already going to bash it because, for one, the cast and things like that. Then they're going to bash it because you already know that they're taking away Anakin specialness with a whole nother group of twins being born by the Force. So when you know you have all these things going up against it, you need to put your best foot forward and combine some episodes to make it more streamlined and more palatable for the audience. You know what I mean?
I guess my biggest question is, was it supposed to be a series or was it supposed to be a movie?
I think it was always pitched as a show.
That's a good question.
Because I remember reading something or hearing something about Acolyte being a movie, not a series.
You might be thinking about Obi-Wan Kenobi. That was originally meant to be a movie. But
it might just be my night shift brain being it night shift brain.
That's actually a plausible theory because, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but after the Rise of Skywalker bombed the way it did, apparently Kathleen Kennedy came to the conclusion that
glitch there.
Oh, okay. Am I back? Yes, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yep.
They almost got you.
Sorry about that. I think it was Mickey.
Oh.
He's
Gotta silence
not in
him
the room.
now.
All right, cool. He's not in the room for a second, but like oh fuck, what was I talking about?
Kathleen
Disney
Kennedy.
got you, huh?
Yeah. So she blamed the failure of Rise of Skywalker on movies just not being popular anymore. That was her conclusion. So that's why we've been getting all the shows.
I thought it was white males. Or is that
she blamed them too.
In what world do you just go, no one likes films anymore? No, it's like bollocks. It's like, if that was the case, no film would ever get made. Like, that's it. You might as well just cancel every single film that Disney has in production. Fuck it, go over to Warner and be like, cancel this shit. Bollocks. Like, she's just talking out her ass.
I'm not, and hey, we're not saying misogyny isn't a problem. We know it is, but like, all we're trying to say is like, Kathleen Kennedy and a lot of these egotistical creatives, instead of taking criticism and being humble, they go and blame just anybody else. They blame racism. They blame it's not a standing with the crowd kind of thing. It's not a standing with the good guys kind of thing. It's an ego thing. They're just egomaniacs who don't want to take the L.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But they're flopping now because the show contents are flopping. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, which sucks because like, did you guys ever see X-Men Dark Phoenix?
We have, and that was completely pulled apart due to the merger. It was supposed to be 3 films itself. Well, no, it was supposed to be 3 films, and they had to condense it so much into 1 film, which was the issue because they got bought out by Disney in the merger.
Oof.
Yeah, they had a plan. The Dark Phoenix was going to be its own trilogy.
Yeah, but when the director, I didn't see it. I heard it was bad, but when the director was interviewed about it, he just said, "I made a bad movie. It's on me. It's whatever."
He had to say, they got to save face. You can't say, "Oh, you know what I mean." Again, people want to bash the director, Simon Kinberg, but forget he was producer on some of the biggest X-Men films out there with Kevin Feige. Okay, X-Men 1, 2, and stuff like that. Like he knows his job. So for him to even people suggest that he just derailed the movie so bad, like, no, y'all, reading between the lines, there was a merger going on. We already know there was plans for Dark Phoenix to be a 3-film epic to the X-Men saga, and it was so the merger they had to condense all those 3 scripts into 1, and this is what we got. But again, if you haven't seen it, I say watch it. It still have some great things within it. It has some really great things within it.
I will say one last thing about Disney Star Wars right now. I want it to be better, and I also want the fandom to be better.
I just want everybody to be better and grow the fuck up and not stop crying over damn stuff. Like, why are y'all crying over Star Wars and just stuff in general? I don't get it.
I think it's
stupid.
When you really think about it, imagine
they are stupid, Todd. Very stupid.
The way that I see it is, imagine that you love something so much, and then you've grown up with it as part of your life, and then all of a sudden someone comes in and doesn't look at doesn't look at like the full picture or the story or anything like that. I mean, imagine, like, say, for example, if Beyonce turned around, I'm going to use Beyonce. She turned around and
tread lightly, sir.
Yeah, she brings in her daughter. She has kids, doesn't she? She has a daughter?
Yes, she has 3.
Right. Imagine that she turns around and says, "My daughter's now going to take over my legacy, and she's going to carry on." And everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then suddenly, Beyonce, her daughter, just absolutely ruins it. Like, just ruins the entire music. Like, says like, "Oh, my mum said that it was born with respect, but I just want the money. I just want this. I don't give a shit about the fans." Imagine how hurt you would be. Like, "Oh, okay, well, but Beyonce said that she, my daughter was going to carry it on, and she was going to love it." And Beyonce's daughter's just like, "I just want the money. I don't give a fuck about the music." I would imagine it'd be something very similar, like, to that as well.
Yeah.
That, and like when you grow up with something, when you make it your life, that's really when you take that on, you also take on some difficulties that come with that. You deal with being bullied over it. You deal with probably getting ridiculed by family members over that. But like it woke up a fire in you that might have led to you doing things like writing or music or acting, like, and these people are coming in and just shitting all over it. This thing that you put yourself through hell probably to stick with, and that helped you out so much, and they're disrespecting that. It does hurt.
Yeah.
It's like Thundercats. I absolutely love Thundercats. When they brought out the reboot, which was back in 2011, I wasn't a big fan of it, so I was like, okay, that's fun.
No,
then
Thundercats 2011.
Yeah,
that's
and then
literally what it's called.
Yeah, so when they then brought out Thundercats Raw, and it was just literally, we wanted to take the piss, but when the showrunner, the guy who was running it properly, just turned around and was just like, yeah, like I love Thundercats when I was younger, and this is what I wanted it to be. It's like no one wanted it to be like that. And then we found out that he didn't even like Thundercats, like he mocked it and stuff. And I was just like, why would you take on this, and why would you destroy something? So that got like a load of hate because, you know, it was like Lino being super stupid, or, you know, certain things weren't kind of gelling together. And then because of that backlash, they had to get Teen Titans going to then be like, oh, let's bring it in. And then you had Larry Kenney going, if everyone says like Thundercats Raw is the bad series, they're a big fat poopy head. And I'm just like, why would you trash the fan base that would be like throwing money at like new toys, new things? You bring in a new audience as well, but you just trashed the entire thing and then stuck your middle finger up and went, fuck it. And that's why people like turned on that. So I imagine again with Star Wars is exactly the same, like the same sort of thing over and over and over again. We want that. They want a good product. They want the best, but they won't get it because people at the top fuck it over all the time.
Well, that's the thing. You can't appease everyone. So when you try to appease everyone, you appease no one. So if you just focus on the product you want to make and attract one audience or whatever, you know, you can be successful. You can't do two things at once, and that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. If they just literally turn around, and the same thing is what I think with Power Rangers as well. If they just turn around and said, this is nothing to do with the original series or the original films, this is our version, I think people are a bit more kind of, do you know what? I'm more accepting on this. But because it's more like, this is a Star Wars you'll love, and it's like, no, it's not. It's utter fucking trash. So fucking fix your shit.
Hey, I would still love to hear from sequel fans. I know y'all are out there. What's the beauty we're missing? We'd genuinely love to know.
Decent stories.
Yeah, decent stories.
A compelling script. That's what I want.
Yeah, something that doesn't say that men suck ass and that people suck ass.
Yes, do not make that your marketing ploy, people going forward. Do not say, we will make gay people tremble. We will make the straights want to bash their head in. All men will want vasectomies after watching our product. Like, who the fuck is this for? The cats? Because no humans are going to watch this.
Well, anger is what sells right now.
Apparently,
kind of sells too, but no one's buying right now.
Anywho, next topic.
So, next topic, at least from what I found, thanks to Mr. Henry Resilient, a lot of we've seen a lot of fan projects, but we've seen some Ranger actors actually try to bring some stuff out. Of course, we're still waiting on Legend of the White Dragon. We're still waiting on it. Come on, Aaron, just chop it. Come on, man, you got to do something. If those editing scenes are taking this long, something's wrong. But I had no idea about Karen Ashley doing something called The Order. And of course, we have seen The Return, which actually has dropped, thanks to Miss Amy Jo Johnson.
I heard that one was
through
good.
Boom Studios.
Okay, The Order was some fan project that she was bringing. All the Power Rangers actors are going to be involved, or the majority of them. And they was gonna do this film. Nothing Power Ranger related. It was just the Power Ranger actors. Back in like 2017, 2018. The shit went nowhere. People was flown out to be filmed. Couldn't find out they couldn't film because they're not SAG. And of course, if you're on a project, you can't just be like promise someone that, oh, if you be on my project, you're going to be entered into the SAG-AFTRA. That's not how that works. You actually have to pay a fee for that. It's like $3,000 to be entered to the fee, and it's done annually every year. So all that should have been said up front to these people. There's a lot of shit going on with that. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It should never happen.
Not to mention, getting into SAG-AFTRA is a win, but it means you are also going up against fiercer competition.
Facts. Yeah. And for these people who are pretty much never have any acting background, who just want to be in a Power Ranger project, to say one line or to stand in the background as an extra, to be offered a SAG-AFTRA membership, again, that's just taking advantage of the fandom because, again, the fandom they're ignorant to it because they don't know anything about how that works to become an actor. So it's kind of like they was exploited to a point from my perspective. It's like you're promising someone to be in the movie just to gain their money and to make it feel like you're doing something. That, on my part, which is icky to me. Again, is it the fandom's part for not doing their research on it instead of just blatantly following and trusting the words of someone you've seen on TV? Yes, these are Power Ranger actors, but I don't know them from shits to giggle. I don't know these people. But on the show, yeah, they seem like great humans, but behind the scenes, they could be assholes. You know, they out here stabbing PP loan frauds and all that shit. So, I mean, these are human beings, so you can't really trust a fucking human being. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
yeah, and even Austin St. John had his own little film project going on. Along
Survival's End.
Yo, listen, what Power Ranger fan actor does not have a project in the work or was in the work? Every single one of them. From David Fielding to Nakia Burress to Amy Jo Johnson to Karen Ashley to David Yost to what's the guy who plays Wes? Like, all of them have something in the works at one point in time.
Props, though, very few Power Rangers actors even had a career after they were done with that. So props to these guys for still making something.
Yeah, I think for me personally, like finding out about the order and stuff like that, I feel like it's a massive kick in the face because I wouldn't want to be lied to. Like if I donated X amount of money to be in it and I flew out all the way over to America and then was told, here's your money back, you're not allowed in this, I'd be fucking pissed. And like considering it's been like 6 years at the time of this recording, I think, or this live stream.
The last update Karen did on it was 2019.
Yeah, so it has been a while from this. Like I would be pissed, but the fact is that people donated tons of money to this project and it's not come out. You know, it went from here is a thing where a film, and then it's now a comic book, and then now it's like, oh, we're shopping the idea around. It's like people should be getting their money back. People should be entitled to all of that because where's the finished product? Where is the thing? And like as we were talking like yesterday about this, like if you're not getting your product that for your perk or whatnot, you should just get your money back. I think that most of this money went to finish the trailer, and then they were like, oh, what money have we got left? And like, we'll make something because we're all together. I generally think they should be getting all the money back because I think that's unfair. Like, like if, say, for example, if someone at like Power MorphCon or a convention, someone walked off with like, say, 3 autographs, you know that the Ranger actor be running behind them or the handler would be going like, excuse me, you owe us $200. We need that money right now. And it's like, why would you not want to pay back the people that donated? And this is also a trust thing. Like, say, for example, like Karen turns around now and goes, oh, I'm making something, whatever, like the second. I need your money. It's not going to happen. Like, no one's going to like deal it because people go like, what happened to that money or like the money from the order? And it's my whole theory on all of this, including fan films, is if you haven't made it, no one's really going to pay for it because you've had projects like MMPR fan film. You've had other things that haven't happened, like Michael Copeland's film's not happened. Survival's End hasn't happened. That's Austin's. So why is someone going to give you money to make it it's like if Unworthy did it now, Unworthy would be the ones to easily get this, because they could easily go, we've already made countless projects. You pay us money, you will get this in a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, however long it takes, but you will get this product. Or you film it and go, here is a small trailer. We need to recoup the losses, like, people, gear, whatever. And then suddenly they go, here's 100,000. Awesome. That's paid it and more. And that goes into the next one. That's how it should work. But these Power Ranger actors have kind of fucked it over. These people that wanted money have fucked it over, because no one's really going to trust people when it comes to this sort of stuff anymore.
And that was my whole point too. We've seen all these fan projects that barely go anywhere, and we see some of these Ranger actor projects barely go anywhere. The only one that we've seen gone anywhere is The Return.
Yeah, but the thing is
that
that
was successful.
That's not a fan project though. You can't even put them in the same category.
Well, made by Amy Jo. That was the point.
That was made by Boom Studios. You were going to get a product regardless, because I have the entire run of MMPR The Return now. So even if that project never got backed, they're still going to release a product. You're not just going to get a hardback version, But the fact is, it was backed before, with Boom Studios, and they've had successful ones. That's not even Power Rangers. So yeah, like I wouldn't put it as like, oh, that's a fan made thing, because it's a company.
Well, it was. I guess it was written by Amy Jo, pitched to Boom. Boom liked it, and they're doing it. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I see your point.
Yeah, but I think this is what a lot of people get really tired of, because again, you had MMPR fan film, you had all these products, and it's like, how can you fuck over your fan base? Like, your fan base are the ones that give you money, that come get your autographs, that come and do this, and yet you just treat them like shit. Now, if it was me and I was a Ranger, which would be really cool, and I had made a project, I would make sure, and I would say, okay, I have to up my autograph to $50 when originally it was like, say, like 30, and I'd be like, $20 of that goes back into it, and then that will go back into this project, and I will recoup and I will refund every single person if it never happened, and do it that way. But most of these actors, like most of these Rangers, they make the money, but it never comes out. Like, that should be your number. Yeah, it's one of those things. And also, like, from what I've heard of with Karen, is if you bring up the order to her, she gets really angry. And I was thinking about this earlier, and I think it's more either if the whole project's a fail and you don't want to be reminded of that, but people are going to want to know where that money went. Break it down. Where is it all gone? Is it still in a bank account somewhere? Is it still, like, hasn't been touched? People want to know. And if not, after you've not been able to get it on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever, just go, do you know what, guys? I'm really sorry. If you can email me with a receipt, with everything that you've done, that you have actually, like, given this, like, you've given to the project, I will return the money to you exactly how much you've made. And then just go, I'm really sorry, and hold the hands up. And then the fandom will go, that's really big of you. And now we kind of start to trust this in.
I'm cool with waiting on projects. There's actually this project I've been waiting for since fucking 2008. I'm cool with patience. I'm not giving my money to something that's going to take that long to come out, that might not even come out.
Yeah. Like, part of me just, I don't, me personally, I couldn't. I mean, I have waited like over 10 years for like stuff in the past, but I can't necessarily deal with the long wait anymore, because it irritates me. It's like, why should I? Or why should I give stuff?
And that's how I feel about it. That's why I'm praising The Return more and more, because when I first saw the order pop up, thanks to Henry Resilient, like, bringing back these actors to make some sort of film, okay, fine, I'm okay with it. I really would like to see them work together again in this environment. Legend of the White Dragon, from what Aaron said, is still in editing process. So we're still technically getting it. We just don't know when. And I agree. We shouldn't have to wait this long.
I mean,
Not
that's fine.
Not when money's gone into it. Our money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is though that is an almost finished project though. Like if it had been something like 4 or 5 years and it hadn't, it was just like, oh, it's the concept stage, then I'd be like, okay, where's this money gone? Like, why hasn't it been filmed? But the fact is that they're taking their time. Like it is going to come out, because you can't do all that promotion and then be like, whoopsie, we've not done anything. It's there. It will come out. Unlike these other projects that get mentioned and never ever do.
Which brings me to my next point of, we have never seen anything about this, I don't think, except for Legacy of Nerd. But documentaries about JDF's life.
Well, that's only just been announced recently. That I wouldn't be like, oh man, that's fucking it over.
I figured that would have been done a year or two ago, or a year ago. Oh wait, it kind of did when I wrote part of it for a convention for a friend. It was a fan documentary through Kaz Productions, and it was mostly about experiences about his life. I mean, we don't have full background stuff.
That's the thing, Todd. We can't keep blurring the lines between fan projects and what's official and produced by these things.
Yeah.
We can't even compare the two. You keep doing it. We can't compare a fan project to what a studio or a production team is putting behind. We can't do. They're not synonymous with each other. They're completely different. What that guy is talking about is it's supposed to be 3 different documentaries on JDF life. We already have a documentary show for him that's actually on Tubi, which is follow his life as the Green Ranger. It's going to be a continuation of that. We don't know any aspects because nothing has been said about it. It was done in an interview from Tammy, who was saying, yeah, there's 3 in production. A lot of things could be in production, but what's going to come to fruition? That's the question.
Yeah, I think you were talking about My Morphin Life, wasn't it?
Yeah, that.
I thought that was a YouTube series for some reason.
Yeah, I've seen it on Tubi right now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But as for anything coming forward, or if we're going to see these documentaries, only time will tell who's going to pick it up and stuff like that.
Agreed.
It'll be interesting when it comes out. Sorry, go on, Chris.
I am interested to see what happens with Power Rangers fandom products, though, because there are a lot of good fan projects that are starting to come out from Star Wars fans that are pretty much the fix to what's going on at Disney right now. And I feel like we're starting to maybe see the beginning of the same thing with Power Rangers, because of course we've had Unworthy for a while, same with Bloodline, and we've got Western Strike coming, Hybrids, Dark Unity just got started, so, and those are being well received. So yeah, I think I'm kind of interested to see where Power Rangers goes fan project wise. We could be on to something nice there.
Hopefully.
I reckon that they will come in time. I think it's more kind of like it goes. Sometimes it's a 50-50 thing. It's more kind of like you have people that have the idea of making an idea, but then never kind of release it. It's more kind of like it's always idea and they're building and building. And then you have people that'll go, here's a quick script, here's a quick thing, out the door, and it's done within a couple of months, or it takes a year to do or whatever. So I would imagine that it's just how will people be able to be pushed to actually make this sort of thing, or hire people to do it, or try and say here's the money to hire a full team, and then it actually gets made. Because I'm all for seeing more of these projects come along. I just like I want people like I sometimes like I wish that if I've seen like say it, like me personally, like if one of my friends says, Mark, where was that Green Ranger versus Red Ranger thing that you did? I was like, oh, that was 8 years ago. I had no real majorly big push to kind of like get that sorted until I was like, I need to do this for work. But then the next idea would be, how do I go and source it? How do I do it? What do I do? So, you know, if someone kept pushing me to do that, I'd be like, okay, cool. Give me a month or two, and then maybe I could produce something. But, you know, some people kind of like step back. Some people just want to write and then not produce. It's one of those things. So it's just about getting out there, like it's getting, you know, balls to the wall and fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I got to get a plunger, stick it to my head, and just suck out all the ideas from my head one of these days. Because, dear God, I have too many ideas in my head. Getting them on paper is another question.
So it's like when you have work to consider, there's only so much you can do when you have to make a living.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
time management.
Work.
Who has that? I don't know how we just dropped the conversation. It's kind of like how Hasbro dropped the ball.
We haven't
No more
finished
Power
this
Ranger content.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah, it won't come back for a long time, if ever. You can see like 1,000 fan films before the next season of Power Rangers is announced.
I mean, if we do get the reboots, that'll be interesting. I hope someone picks it up, but who knows? I don't think anyone wants to touch it because of the way it was killed.
It's cursed. It's a cursed franchise.
I think it's trying to figure out what you want to do with it. Like, the fact is, you've had 30 years of the same sort of like thing over and over and over again, and it just hasn't worked out that well. Where you try and take one thing. If you say to the fandom, we're going to take Zords out, or we're not going to use Sentai footage, then you have 1,001 people going like, you need to bring in the Zords. That's what makes Power Rangers. That's what sells the toys. And it's like, well, Hasbro haven't made fuck all with the Zords, and they make them too expensive to do it. You take out the Sentai footage, which you can make and be creative on your own. No, it needs to be exactly the same as what we've had for the last 30 years. Well, if that's the case, how come Power Rangers isn't on the tongues of like pretty much every single person? How come it's not in more mainstream media like it was back in the 90s? And I feel like you have to try and figure it out properly to be able to source it. Otherwise,
you have to make it good to be mainstream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just needs good script, good
and
storytelling, good action.
It's been tossed between all these different companies that have had different directions, plenty of them damaging, and at this point, I think it might just be a matter of, like you guys said, companies not being interested, because you've got the means to continue it. There are more Sentai series that you can adapt. They're out there, but still no one's picking it up. It's disinterest is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's such a hard one.
I'm cool with the sorry, man. But I'm cool with the good content coming from fans. Headcanons are a thing. We see something good, we're just like, you know what? Fuck it. That happened. Yeah, Dark Spectre and Lord Zed did Bane in this.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, like, I really want something good to come out. I want official stuff. Like, I don't mind watching like a fan film or fan projects, but then that in a way is always like, most of them are going to be like, Lord Dragon took over the Range world and shattered the grid. It is now the Power Rangers Unity here. It is the Power Rangers like foreshadowing here. And it's always Lord Draken, Lord Draken, Lord Draken.
They will not drop the fucker. He's overrated as fuck, man.
Yeah.
I agree. Way overused.
But when I think of, like, if I'm going to watch fan projects, I know that's going to happen because majority of time, my fucking fan stuff, I'm like, fuck.
That's why I have the rag, because it's hot in here too.
Turn your fan on. Why do you?
It is on.
When you
it's still that hot. Oh god.
when you talk about
Mine's-
Lord Draken being overused, it just makes me more excited to see Cairo and Power Rangers Western Strike. I wonder how that series is going to be. I wonder who they got to play Cairo. He must be great.
Same shameless plug there, I'm guessing.
Right, I'm like, who's Cairo and who's playing him? Like, what's going on here?
Alex, if you're
well-
watching this, I did my part.
Well, and we also got fan projects like our buddy Jamari's in.
Project Zodiac?
It just, I forget what it's called off the top of my head.
It might be Project Zodiac.
But yeah, Project Zodiac doesn't even deal with Lord Draken.
Yeah,
but it's an
Thank
arbiter
fuck.
type character. So I'm like,
yeah, but then so even though like say those two projects don't, if you have 1,001 other ones that are using that thing, it's cool that you can say you can have other rangers like from different universes. You can make your own rangers. I think that's absolutely fine. But majority of them is going to use Lord Draken. It's going to be like when the grid has been shattered, a new force of rangers, and with something official, like with if Power Rangers do whatever, I generally want them to actually continue making it, because if it stops at Cosmic Fury, awesome, it's finished. But if they're going to continue it, at least then it's a brand that will carry on, that we have stuff to talk to. Because I can guarantee you, I know no one apart from like you guys and Power Rangers Unworthy. I know no one else who makes like fan films or anything like that. So I'll just be like, oh, okay. Like, I know the Rail Riders guys, but I wasn't a big fan of the first thing.
But I do have to say, with Rail Riders, they are kind of taking the show like it was, and like how it really was. They're doing the adaptation, sort of, kind of. But like you get some film stuff, and then they got a little bit of Sentai footage. So that's what I'm like, kind of.
But if I again, no, I wouldn't say that's like the next season of Power Rangers or whatnot.
Oh no, by far they're ending on episode 5, I believe. From what I saw last post.
But if you hadn't have told me, and I didn't check any of the groups, because sometimes I see it pop up there, I would have no idea who these guys are. And I'm not going to look for Power Ranger fan film for my Power Ranger fix. I'm just going to go, oh, okay, cool. But Hasbro need to pull their fingers out. They need to make stuff to keep things interested, because I guarantee if they don't, and this reboot never happens, it's not happening. But if this doesn't go a thing, it's just going to die. And that's what I don't want it to do, but it's just going to die.
And to be honest, with the Rise of Beasts teasing G.I. Joe in a Transformers universe, say screw it and reboot Power Rangers with G.I. Joe.
But then that's not...
We've had Power Rangers with G.I. Joe before, right?
Exactly.
Did it work then?
I have no clue.
I've never seen Power Rangers.
If it worked then, we can make it work now.
I mean, I could get these big 3 volumes of G.I. Joe that are coming out on Kickstarter, but that's like $300 I don't have right now to find out.
Oh yeah. It was a game though, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I don't know, because I've seen a photo of like one of the characters of G.I. Joe on the Mastodon. I can see now, but it's another idea thing, so it's not actually a proper thing. It's just in a book called Field Guide to Adventure and Action, and it's Transformers, Power Rangers, and G.I. Joe.
Oh, the role-playing game.
Yeah, so it's not an official thing. It's a role-playing game.
Well, yeah, it's role-playing. So you can make your own stories and whatnot. I have the book.
Yeah.
I'm so behind those.
I don't know. Like, personally, I would like more stuff. If more fan stuff comes out and it can give us a bridge, a gap that can make us addicted. But the problem is, it's not going to be constant. It's going to be one every 4 or 5 months, or one every year, or 8 every 3 years, or whatnot. So I'm hoping that there's going to be tons that will just fill the gap.
quality over quantity. If it's worth the wait,
Yep.
and you're not seeing your money disappear into a void of a non-existent comic.
And if you want breakdowns, then that's transparent. That's a transparency. I know me and Mark have talked about that a while back.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a breakdown of what everything's going to, then fine. We'll try to be as transparent as possible. Like, oh, hey, well, this money is going to these actors. This money is going to props and stuff. And here's the dates for when we actually paid them.
Small thing here, but like they overuse Lord Draken. Venjix recently got brought back. Thank you, Unworthy. Why hasn't anyone brought back Dark Spectre? The Grand Monarch of Evil?
It's too expensive to make a suit like that.
Yeah, like, but you've got the budget problem solved by now. Like, you can CGI him or something. Like, I don't know. If you got Andy Serkis to play Dark Spectre or something.
I mean, they kind of did that in space. Kind of had him like transparent or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. We've had we've apparently not had Dark Spectre. We've had tons of Lord Drakens. We've had all of this. But what about our Lord and Savior Phoebus? Why hasn't he come along? Why hasn't he come back? Masked Rider.
Talk to Shane on that one.
you've never seen it is Phoebus.
I have been rewatching Mystic Knights of Tir-na-nog, and that's going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, Phoebus. Mystic Knights of Tir-na-nog shit. Phoebus.
Hey, I gave you all those files if I remember correctly.
It's a thing. I don't like Mystic Knights of Tir-na-nog. You go stand in the field and like wind above me and earth around me. It's like you're shouting into the sky.
Hey, that sounds like the old school storm. Wind from the heavens, brush away my enemies. I used to hate that.
Yeah, I just imagine that one saying it.
Oh, I used to hate that. I hate when Storm used to use her powers, boy.
Yeah. Man,
it was so much better. Like when you got like, I just imagine like all the film crew around the Mystic Knights, and then just like filming, and they're all just like, fuck, they're just shouting into the sky, aren't they? Yeah. And it's just like,
and the funny thing is, I think I'm on episode 6 right now. It seems like the cast and crew are having a blast
because they're in the field shouting at each other. It's therapy for them.
It feels like whatchamacallit? Mel Gibson is in it.
Mad Max?
I can't think of the movie off the top of my head.
Is it Mad Max?
Ghost Rider? The Wicker Man?
Mel Gibson is Ghost Rider.
Oh, wait, not Mel. I'm thinking Nicolas Cage. They all yell as shit.
No,
we white guys do yell a lot of shit.
Set in Ireland. Or no, Scotland.
Oh, the one he got like killed on. He's like a warrior.
Yeah. And they took his wife, and that's what started the war. Or
Braveheart.
Braveheart, thank you.
Yeah, Braveheart. Yeah. At least that was entertaining. Yeah, you had loads of people, not like 4 people and a camera crew standing there.
It has the same energy, is what I'm saying. Especially with Angus, just I got this hammer or twirly thing. He's a hoot.
I couldn't stand Mystic Knights. It's not one of the best
series
in the world.
Just like Big Bad Beetleborgs with their Walmart version of Joker. Like that's the Tubi version of Joker.
I really liked Beetleborgs. It felt nice. I just really wish that they decided to do a crossover. Could you imagine? It would absolutely broken every single, like all of us when we were younger, coming next week. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with Masked Rider meet the Beetleborgs. Will they fight against blah blah blah? And you would be like, holy shit, that's the best thing.
set it in the Turbo season just to screw with everyone.
No, that'd be wank.
Exactly. Because we have our first Kid Ranger in Turbo, Justin, with 3 kids who become the big bad Beetleborgs.
No, that's like, what was it? It's like Operation Overdrive. There's only like 2 good episodes in the entire season, and it's once a Ranger. That is it. Everyone would just watch Turbo for that one episode.
Mm.
Oh, I just hate it. I would just absolutely hate if it was in Turbo. Because he'd be just like, hey guys, I'm just like you. And they'd just be like, no, Justin, like you're not like us. You can go away. Just push them out. That's it. Guys, I'm just like you. No, you're not, Justin. Just go. We've got more friends than you. Blue Turbo Ranger. Makes me sick. Actually, physically sick.
Big bad Beetleborgs. I just hate
that song gets
too.
stuck in your head. That song is way too catchy.
I still think he got, like, when that kid got stretched and emaciated by the morphing grid at some point, he used the opportunity to purchase alcohol legally.
That's what, yeah, 100%.
He became a childhood alcoholic, man.
Do you reckon, like, Justin, like, you know when Zordon's like, don't use your powers for personal gain, like, blah, blah, blah. Do you think Justin fucked with people? Because obviously he has to shrink down.
Yeah.
Do you think that he went up to, like, cashiers and was just like, takes the helmet off, adult body, kid head, and was just like, no one's ever going to fucking believe you about this. Puts the helmet on. And then when like, he's like, oh my God, that's a kid. He's a kid. He's like 3 inches tall. The fuck? Power Rangers is like 6 foot. What the hell, guys?
Creepypasta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, now that got me thinking of something. Like, do the Power Rangers all grow to be like these big human warriors? Like Iron Man, like obviously Robert Downey Jr. gets an Iron Man suit, he's like 7 feet. So like the Power Rangers all like 7 feet tall? Like Wonder Woman?
I always
bones have
wondered
been
that.
added.
I mean, I think that's a fan theory going around about Justin.
I just realized something. How much would it like absolutely like break like TV back then when it's like next week the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers meet Masked Rider as they battle the Beetleborgs and sent back in time to the Mystic Knights of Tiernog coming next week. I would freak out.
That's a crossover no one wanted.
No, but I would guarantee it'd be more people in a field screaming and shouting. Earth around me. Justin's fucked off. Yay. Oh no, we've left Justin back in the time thing. He's never coming back. Yay.
I could just imagine all them yelling at each other to more. It's Morphin' time! Master the big bad Beetleborg! Mystic Knight! Everybody just like, what the hell is all that screaming going on?
Can you imagine like living in that field, just going like, oh god, the crew's there, and just watching it going, the fuck are they doing?
Seriously, y'all seen that meme of that video of somebody singing and that person in the background like, shut the fuck up? That's all you're gonna hear in the background when they screaming more for the shit.
Shut up, Mom!
Do you know what would have been even better? Okay. Coming next week, after the Rangers have come forward in time, they take the Mystic Knights of Tiernog help. They meet. So next week is Power Rangers, Mystic Knights, Masked Rider, Big Bad Beetleborgs meet VR troopers in cyberspace. It would be beautiful.
And then they have to team up the superhuman samurai in cyberspace.
And Sailor Moon. The band had Sailor Moon.
I can't disagree with this.
Oh, and you forgot the Beverly Hills wrestlers have to come out and protect them all. Y'all remember that horrible show, or is it just me?
Yeah, I can't. We never had it over here.
Oh my god, YouTube it is so horrible.
Oh, I know of it. Hang on, I need to have a look at this.
It's terrible.
Okay, Saban. Okay, who did Saban have all together? Because
he had so many damn projects going on. I can't even tell you. He had a lot.
Next week, coming, the Power Rangers meet VR Troopers, Mystic Knights of Tiernog, Mystic Knights, the Digimon, Sonic X, Cubit, Glitter Force, My Pet Monster, the Ninja Turtles, and Treehouse Detectives all fight against Luna Petinia.
I am so freaking mad. I did not know he had Sonic the Hedgehog. Lord Jesus.
Yep.
Sonic X. Oh.
That's why it was so bad. It was made by Spawn.
Can you just imagine all of this happening? Tommy must
Y'all
fight his
laughing. He gonna
feelings.
take Power Rangers back from Hasbro.
Because they didn't have Keanu Reeves' Shadow.
I still can't believe that got confirmed.
Hey.
On that bombshell.
Yeah.
Y'all
Furthest, the
see-
monster.
Y'all watch Nintendo Direct?
I did not. I don't care for
Cool.
Nintendo until they upgrade their hardware.
Which will
Next-
I'm gonna tell you why.
be this year.
2025.
I'm gonna tell you why,
apparently.
y'all. I'm gonna tell you why.
2025,
Because I'm playing Star Wars
Oh,
Hunters
right.
on my mobile phone, and it's on Nintendo Switch. It works better on my mobile phone than a Nintendo Switch. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Go play League of
Frame
Legends
rate,
on PC.
everything,
They
graphics.
should have come out with a Switch 2 years ago. That thing is long
Exactly.
overdue.
Well, I was looking into the research, and because my friend and I were talking about Switches and stuff, and it was like something like next year, 2025, Switch 2, I think is coming out, or is going to be announced, or something like that.
We're probably getting an announcement this November or October. And then we probably won't see it till December of next year. Metroid Prime 4. Yes, finally.
How do y'all
after
feel about
6
that
years,
becoming like a first-person shooter now?
Yeah.
It was a first-person shooter, all three.
Was it? I thought it was a side-scrolling little shooter thing.
No, that was Metroid in general. The Prime series was first on the GameCube, and that's what it was.
Oh, see, I'm so confused with that lady in a robot suit, the Iron
More
Woman. So I completely forgot.
More
More
Metroid's good.
Metroid in general is good. More Metroid Prime. Give me that. Yeah, I'm also pumped for a Zelda game where we finally get to play as Link.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop
Oh,
it.
you mean that?
I'm
Got me
gonna
there
make
for a
sure I create a desk and make sure to slam it on your head.
Why not slam a bed on my head?
This is true because you can probably make one.
You can straight up
He said
make
slamming on
stairs
his
out of
head.
beds in this game.
He didn't say which head though, y'all.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, this Nintendo Direct kind of popped up out of nowhere because I've been trying to follow it to see
It was great.
some good one.
Yeah, most of these events they give you like 5 hours of games you don't care about and a few seconds of games you're actually there to see. They got some bangers.
We got Space Jam 2 coming out. That's going to be amazing with all the sports games coming in that. New Donkey Kong Country. Okay.
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion 2. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I'd rather
My
have
favorite
Luigi
game series of all time, Metal Slug, is getting a new game.
Sick.
A lot of people are excited. My feed's been blowing up about Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, the arcade.
Oh
classics.
my God, yes. Let's talk about that. How the hell is that about to run natively on the Switch when Nintendo Switch can't even run a mobile game? Somebody answer that for me.
They can play that specific mobile game.
Eventually,
I have had no problems with running the Pokemon Unite. But then again, Pokemon Unite's like League of Legends. You just get if you have the crappiest freaking internet or even the most decent internet, you're still gonna lag up a storm. So it doesn't
I'm
really
just
matter.
mad that we get Mortal Kombat on Nintendo Switch and it looks completely trash. Like I don't understand why y'all still making games instead of a system.
It's because it's last year or it's years hardware, so it's all going to be pretty shit. So as you've got like PCs as well as like PlayStation and Microsoft and Sony, they always kind of move past it, don't they? So they're always bringing out new stuff. When Nintendo's like, "Do you want to play Animal Crossing? Do you want to play this? That's all you want to play. You don't want to play like Mortal Kombat. Like I've seen Homelander on that. It's not good. It's not a good thing. So
No.
I imagine they just need to update it and keep going. Like, okay, here comes the Switch 2, and then in like 2 years' time, Switch 3, and just keep doing the same thing, and they keep up to date with the hardware. or get Nvidia to go like make us something so powerful that it can last us for 10 years.
Exactly. That's what they need to do. But who knows? They want to stick in a handheld game, which is fine. I have a Steam Deck. The things that the Steam Deck can do is shitting on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's 9 days, so
we are getting all these shit AAA games now, and you can only trust indie games to Nintendo, pretty much. At least that's how it is for me. All these quality games and a cheap piece of shit system to play them on.
Well,
bummer, man.
I have to say I took a risk when I got my new job, and I finally bought one of these.
The fuck is that big old white thing?
The Asus ROG Ally. It runs like a Steam Deck, but it's Windows 11.
Oh, okay.
And I bought the biggest hard drive I could for it at 2 terabytes. And I finally got to play some of the games I've been wanting to play on it.
Question, biggest question that the world must know before we have to wrap up here. How much?
I spent around $800 on that.
Fuck me in the ass. I'm not paying that.
Well, here's the thing. With $800, that's in around the total.
Mm-hmm.
I got that, a keyboard, a mouse, like a kind of a, you plug it into the back and you have extra slots for stuff.
Oh, okay. So it came with like a small.
It came with yeah, it was a package deal.
Oh, okay.
But I have been loving this thing. Steam finally dropped Kingdom Hearts after all these years. Why the fuck did I buy it on Epic? I'm so pissed at myself still till this day. But it is so crisp with the graphics. It runs well. When I play my AAA games, it seems to have a more battery life. I'm still testing the battery life, but it was that's the Switch killer. Steam and Asus are probably going to steamroll Nintendo for portable gaming.
Yeah.
Especially when they just go, oh, there's a nice little thing to connect your Nintendo to. I'm going to put that app on my Steam Deck or onto the Asus ROG. Boom. I could now play my Nintendo games on the go still for a little more than the Switch with better battery life, better storage, and better runnability. And I can always switch out.
I don't know. You lost me a long time ago. You said $800. Everything else became wah wah.
I will send you the link.
Just a little more money than the Switch. Just a little more. In fairness, the Switch is not worth $300 anymore.
It's not worth $5, to be honest.
Maybe $100 with all the hardware and stuff, but no. But on that bombshell.
Yeah. But give us a topic for next week. The state of video game consoles and what they need to do to stay relevant in 2024 to 2025. Ooh. That's going to be our major topic for next week. So if you guys enjoyed the show. Say what?
I like that. I'm punching that in right now in case I forget.
Yes. Punch that in.
Yes.
Yeah, you nerds for joining us. Catch y'all.
You froze up. Hey, what we catching? What are we catching? I need to know. What we catching?
Are we even live anymore?
We are.
I guess
Say
that's
the
Disney
phrase.
saying bye, y'all. Cool.
Yeah.
Bye.